下面是国家文物局水下文化遗产保护中心，水下考古研究所所长张波先生，题目是水下考古遗产与海洋丝绸之路。
My pleasure to be here for this presentation. It's a good opportunity for me to share with Chinese underwater archaeology with distinguished experts here. Many thanks to the organizer of Shanghai Forum, and special thanks to Mr. Wang Wei for your kind invitation to me. So briefly, I'm talking about 2 points here. Firstly, I will talk about a general introduction to Chinese underwater archaeology. Then I will focus on the typical case of Nanhai First shipwreck. Recent years witnessed the quick development of Chinese underwater archaeology, but actually China is a new country in this field. It is said in the year of 1987 that China began her underwater archaeology thanks to the funding of Nanhai First shipwreck. So now we have established the network to support our job. So say the headquarters stands in Beijing with 5 maritime archaeological bases set up along the Chinese coast from north to south, plus an inland base in Wuhan to support our underwater job in the freshwater area. For example, this is the southern base in Hainan Island, particularly designed for our job in southeast China. For capacity building, every 2 or 3 years, we will have a training program for new underwater archaeologists. So totally, we now have 145 underwater archaeologists in China, including 8 international members. So this greatly enhanced our cooperation with our international colleagues, particularly the ongoing project in Saudi Arabia. So after the general introduction, please let me draw you the attention to the typical shipwreck Nanhai First. This is a merchant ship found in the year of 1987 and salvaged in 2007. It is dated back to the Southern Song Dynasty, or precisely in the year of 1183. And based on the study of the cargoes, this should be a ship depart from the famous seaport city of Quanzhou, now in today's Fujian province. The possible destination should be some port in East Asian countries. This is the place of the location of the Nanhai First shipwreck. So it's easy for us to mark this site on the traditional navigation map to see this is a very important area. In Chinese historic book described this place as the departing place for overseas sailing, means 放洋之地. So how to excavate this shipwreck is a big issue. It's about 27 meters deep down on the seabed, and the water visibility is very poor, plus the very complicated water condition. So after thoughtful discussion, final decision for this shipwreck is a salvage project to lift this shipwreck with a very big container and move it into a new designed museum only for this shipwreck. So this can be viewed as a very typical case for the study of Asian maritime Silk Route, thanks to the well-observed condition. This is the framework of this shipwreck. It is said to be a fuchuan, a typical traditional Chinese junk suitable for overseas sailing. It has 15 compartments full of cargoes, and the hull remains 23 meters long and roughly 10 meters wide. So here you can see how people upload the cargoes compartment by compartment. And if we clear down to the bottom of the ship, we can see how people place the cargoes layer by layer. For the documentary job, my colleague invented a digital mapping and recording system, particularly designed for this unique project. So we can record the right place for each object. And also we can record the whole process of our archaeological job. So let me show you the process of the excavation. Before the excavation, the shipwreck covered by seed and sand. So after clear away the sand, you can see come out the framework of the ship. So clear away the surface debris, you can see the compartment full of cargoes. So we clear the cargoes all the way down, deep down to the bottom of the ship is about 2.7 deep from the upper deck to the bottom. So finally come down to the bottom. So based on the archaeological information, together with historical archives and traditional drawings, we can reconstruct this kind of fuchuan, a typical Chinese junk. So it's very helpful for us to understand the shipbuilding technology. For the cargoes, totally 180,000 objects found from this shipwreck. As calculate, porcelain and iron objects were very important on this shipwreck. Porcelains from Jingdezhen killing, from Nongqian killing, and Jingdezhen killing, and Dehua killing were very popular on this ship. It is obviously that this kind of typical Dehua port was a copy of the silver or gold ones from Middle East. So we also found numerous precious objects like necklaces. This kind of precious objects indicate a taste of Middle East style. More impressively, it's very helpful for archaeologists to inspect how people package their cargoes onto the ship. And based on the detailed archaeological remains, we can rebuild the social structure and even probe into the maritime life on the ship by studying of this kind of pottery with handwriting for public use. So it's easy for us to understand what kind of food for the crews and the passengers on the ship by studying the animal remains. Here you can see live sheep, chicken, and pig on board to the ship together with the passenger from the depart place, and also a lot of seeds from the ship. So for the study of maritime trade, we found a set of weights and scale from the Nanhai first ship. So this is purposely for the maritime trade. So I also found the same object from sailing side in Saudi Arabia, dated back to the same period, also for maritime trade. So it's amazing to check into the currency from this shipwreck. Here you can see a lot of Chinese copper coins, together with silver ingot and so-called golden sheet. This kind of golden sheet can be viewed as big value money with the mark of a private bank from Hangzhou. Now, what we call it Hangzhou now in the ancient time, Ying'an, the capital city of Southern Song Dynasty. So there was very strong archaeological evidence to say this should be an RC merchant ship because we found golden belt like this, about 1.7 meters long. This is very popular in the Middle East at that time. But also we found pottery bearing the Arabic writing related to the Quran. So this is easy for us to imagine there should be some merchant, a Muslim merchant on this ship together with the Chinese people. So Nanhai first shipwreck was not the only one we found. We also found the same kind of ship in Xisha area, dated back to the same period. This can help us to build up the picture of the maritime trade in the Southern Song Dynasty. Trade and the cultural communication, and also for the public, is very interesting for them to probe into the maritime life on board, which our ancestors experienced during their navigation across the sea and the ocean. And then thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much.
好，谢谢江波。下面我们。